Can you hear me now? Hi, Dawn. Can you hear me now? I had it muted from when I was doing my tutorials. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me okay? Okay, yeah. I kind of had my microphone muted. Oopsies. Hi, Frankie. Okay, sounds good. You know, you can always reach out to me if you need my help, Frankie. So yeah, as I was saying while I was muted, there's Coco. I am so incredibly behind. I, like 10 minutes ago, realized the time. There's Coco. I've almost done the first wallet week tutorial. So, yeah, I still have to wind my bobbins. Lenore. Let me just try to get everybody marked down here. There's Lenore. Oh, Dawn, you're headed to your appointment? Hi, Lauren. Lauren. Karen. Lisa. Oh no, Amy. How you've complicated it for yourself? How have you done that? Why can't I find people's names today? I think it's because I'm flustered. I'm flustered. I'm usually on early. Hi, Lexi. And a lot more organized, but I'm really, really getting excited doing these wallets for Wallet Week. I've been so busy, you have no idea. Okay, so while we're having our 10 minutes of chat like we usually do, I am going to wind my bobbins. Because I got a brand new spool. Ignore my mess. Yeah, I've almost got the first wallet done, which is awesome. Pretty happy about it. So today we're going to be putting on the exteriors for, or not the exteriors, the main stabilizer and the exterior zipper pocket, as well as hopefully our connectors. Coco, what are you doing? Well, she was there, but now she's gone. Okay. Just bear with me while I switch things around here. I love using new thread. Get in there. Oh, right. You did tell me about that, Amy. Yes. Okay, Annie, you're with me. You need to wind yours and thread your machine. So everybody, if you haven't already, change out your thread. Don't look at the mess in my background. I swear, I cleaned on Monday, but everybody missed it. Oh, Karen will be watching tonight. Okay. All right, let's get these going. Oh my gosh, my garbage cans are overflowing. Crazy. But excited. One wallet, almost done. 6 more to go. Oh, your Cricut's not cooperating? Oh dear. Are you cutting? Oh, I know what you're doing, Amy. Yes, we talked about that. I'm excited to see your Lola rendition. It's going to be amazing. Oh, why aren't we? Oh, come on. Get in there. My thread is not cooperating. Okay. There we go. Hey, Nicole. I'm playing catch up. I haven't even threaded my machine or my bobbins yet. Oh, stop it. But I am super excited for wallet week. First wallet I'm doing, I'm actually modifying because it's an older pattern. But I think I'm doing it right. We will find out how it works. Okay, let's get that one winding. No, well, that didn't work very good. Get in there. Hey, Benny. Don't mind me. All right. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Kathy is one of our new members. Welcome. I hope, have you been watching the classes already, Kathy? I need to bring us up on here. I'm just winding my bobbins. I am running a little bit behind.
The Kamloops Gem and Mineral Show is coming
quiet. There we go. Lenore's looking forward to Wallet Week. Awesome. Okay, let me just put that there. Sorry for the noisiness of my machine. I can probably get away with one bobbin today. We're so happy to have you, Kathy. Such a great group here. You'll make tons of friends. You're ready to go. Amazing. I'm not so much. I'm a little behind, but I'm getting there. Again, I just got so into this tutorial I was making today that I lost track of time. The day just went so fast. That's okay. You kind of look at the back of my head for 1 minute just while I thread the machine. Almost there. Kathy, what kind of machine do you sew on? Are you on a domestic? Are you on an industrial? So happy you're happy to be here. We're so happy to have you. Oh my gosh. Because I'm trying to thread this fast, I'm having issues. Come on. Okay, you almost have my undivided attention. 2 more seconds here. I better have threaded this right. And how many are sewing along with me today? And how many are watching? Come on. Hi, Elba. Oh, that's okay, Elba. Happy to have you too. Elba is another new member, so happy to have you. Everybody, please welcome Elba. Sorry you're seeing my back. I'm threading my machine. Awesome, Kathy. I'm not familiar with that machine. Is that a domestic machine or like a heavy duty machine? If it's working, that is fantastic. Okay, let me just check to make sure I threaded this right. Success. Okay. Ooh, and perfect tension. Perfect. Okay. You have me again. Again, ignore the mess at the back. I am... Do you guys want to see a sneak peek of the wallet I'm doing for tutorial week? Or for wallet week? Oh, Kathy, yes. How is your thumb doing after your surgery? No problem, Amy. Yeah, message me if you have any questions. Elva's here. We have one more new person that hasn't joined us yet, Becky with a Y. We have a Becky with an I and Becky with a Y, so hopefully she'll join us. Through it. Diane should be on soon. There's Wanda. I'm just marking everybody down here. I should really put things in alphabetical order. That might help me a lot finding these names in my list. Wanda, Nicole. Not in too much pain after your surgery? We're going to test my focus here in a minute. But yeah, do you guys want to see a preview? I'm not going to tell you which one it is. Let me grab it here. I've got 2/3 of the way done. It's in pieces right now. I've got... So this one, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm actually really enjoying making it. But it usually has a cell phone pocket. But because this is a 7-year-old pattern, cell phones won't fit in it. So I am trying to modify it. So rather than having a padded cell phone pocket, which would be here, to have 2 slip pockets instead. Yay! And then there'll be more card slots on this side. So does anybody recognize this one? Does anybody? Lisa wants to know, Kathy, is that a walking foot machine? So yeah, this is what had me distracted, and I totally lost track of time, so I'm a little flustered right now. I didn't even get to clean up my room, but that's okay. Kathy says it does come with a walking foot, but I rarely use it and it has been good to work with. Awesome. So yeah, Kathy, once you start working with vinyls or heavier things, if you find your machine is struggling a little bit, try switching out to the walking foot and you'll find it'll help as well. But if you're not having any problems yet, have at her. Do you have a Teflon foot for it? Karen, you think you might have just bought that pattern? Really? Oh, Kathy, congratulations on the new job. What am I doing? Where do I want to put these? Put them over here. Sorry, you're seeing my head. Okay. Just in case I need it. Karen, you'll have to privately message me. I'm curious if... Oh, then again, you're one of my admins. You know exactly what patterns I'm doing, so. That's no fair. You probably did just buy it. All right, let me just clean this up a little bit because I'm embarrassed at how messy it is. And then we're going to just see if I got my autofocus fixed. I think I have. Oh, my goodness. Okay. And we'll get started in about 5 minutes here. Oh, Elba, you work in a hospital as well. I said, my son is a care aide at a senior's home, so my hat's off to all people who are in healthcare. I know I couldn't do the job. It's a hard job. Lenora, you just bought a few new wallet patterns? Well, I have 7 that I will be releasing for Wallet Week, the week of the 21st, if all goes well. I was hoping to be done this one today, but I got sidetracked and ran to the store and then visited with my parents instead. So, all right. So let's check my autofocus, if you guys don't mind. I'm going to put the tennis book here. It's super bright. Holy. Is it better with the light? Oh, no, I think we need the light on. I think I have the autofocus fixed. Can I move this up a little bit more? I really want to be able to show much to my table. Any autofocus issues happening there, or are we good? Don, my Logitech G Hub, it seems that even though it says autofocus is on, or autofocus is turned off, whenever I come back after having my computer turned off, I have to, even though it says it's already off, I have to turn it on and then off again, and then it seems to work. So I have no idea. Yeah, okay, so have I got everybody? I'm going to say the names of who I have. Please let me know if I'm missing you. So here so far I checked off Nicole, but I don't know if Nicole's in here. But Nicole, Kathy, Wanda, Frankie checked in, Elba, Karen, Annie, Lexi, Dawn, Lisa, Lenore, Lauren, Amy. And that's all I have so far. Did I miss anybody that's here? Oh, I guess you can see my face again. I just like to know who's all in here, so in case you need a hand, or I can reach out after class or what have you. Oh, Lisa, what wallet pattern do you have? Is it the Necessary Clutch wallet? I can tell you Wallet Week, I will be doing the Necessary Clutch wallet. That's because that is like the most popular wallet in the whole world. Lisa was a part-time phlebotomist. What's a phlebotomist? Did I say that word? Karen works in an inpatient psych hospital as a medical NP. I used to be an assistant manager of a retirement home. I don't know if that counts, but I wasn't medical or anything. Kathy... Oh, Kathy with the C, Kathy with the K. Where are you here? Oh my gosh. Yep, there you are. I didn't have you checked off. Sorry, Kathy. There's Anna. Hi, Anna. Anna, we're just welcoming 2 new members. We have Elba and Kathy, who are new with us. Ladies, if you don't already know, Anna is actually the owner of Galaxy Customs. I'm so honored that she's attending classes. So if you have any vinyl questions regarding domestic machines or industrial machines, she is like knowledgeable. Ask in the chat if you have any questions. Anybody could make the Necessary Clutch wallet. So that one is definitely one of my 7. And then the other 6 I like to think are kind of different. I tried to find some that were not not found on YouTube so much, and I did find a men's wallet, which I'm happy for, so yeah. All right. I'm just going to give it 2 more minutes because that's usually when Diane pops in. I know she's off work at 4, so we'll give it 2 minutes. Are there any questions about last week's class? Much of the homework did not need to be done for this class. I can tell you I didn't do it. All we needed done was fusing of 2 zipper pocket liners and edge coating of 1 zipper overlay if you're doing the edge coating. The rest can all wait till next class. So Kathy says, Kim, I retired from the input site going back to PACU same day surgery. Lisa V is a vampire? Or you got a vampire wallet? All right. So we will be starting, we are going to be putting on our main stabilizers. Usually that would have been homework, but we're going to do it slightly different here, especially if you're using a sew-in foam. Yeah, because I think the pattern calls for mostly fusible interfacings. If you don't want to be using foam, you can definitely be using a Decovil Light. I am a foam girl myself, so... Oh, a phlebotomist is a vampire? I'm so confused. There's Benny. Yeah, Anna's a registered dietitian and worked in many departments, including ICU. I now work in a long-term care, believe it or not, so much less stress. I don't know. I'm so confused. Okay, so there's Benny. He's going to hop in his hamper there. He keeps sitting at my feet, so I moved his hamper closer to me because before I had it by the door, but then I kept stepping on him. So there's my old man, my 15-year-old Dachshund Pug Rescue. Hey, baby. He can't hear. He's pretty blind. He hasn't been feeling very good lately. He has dragged my sweatshirt into that basket as well, so I guess that's what he's going to sleep on. Hi. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay, lie down, go to sleep. Oh, a blood drawer. I get it. Gotcha. I understand the vampire thing. What are you doing there, buddy? Why are you sitting quiet? Whoa, where are you going? Okay. Okay, so we are going to get started. So, first thing we're going to do, let me get organized. Let me put you down to the table. let's get our bottom prepared. Did anybody cut this out already? I know I did not. I'm using Decavol Heavy on my bottom. So I'm going to draw this out on here and then cut it out. And then I'll show you how I'm going to fuse it on. You want a pug so bad? We actually did a DNA test on Benny because we didn't know what he was. We could tell he's part Dachshund because his legs are so short and his body's so long. But he is so stocky. And then it came back that he was a pug. So apparently those are little designer dogs called Dugs, D-A-U-G. But yeah, we rescued him from the Humane Society when we were living in Winnipeg. So, all right. So we're going to start with the bottom. We're going to do our purse feet and all that stuff. Has anybody watched the Lola tutorial that I posted for the members to see? Kathy's done already. Look at you go. Benny definitely doesn't have the pug nose. He's got a good nose. His behavior is very Dachshund too, so he's just stocky like a pug. Elba has a demon dog. What kind of dog do you have, Elba? You guys probably heard Coco barking. She was saying hi. Was the tutorial okay? Awesome. I really love your guys' feedback when it comes to the tutorials. I like to think that they're getting better and better, but I always want to know what you have to say. Oh, I thought I had this in split table. There we go. Now you can see me too. Aww. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I have my bottom Peltex. Look how messy this all is. Usually I try to have this all cleared up for you guys, but yeah, no, not today. Okay, so everybody let me know when you are done that as I double check my seam allowances, unless Dawn has it for me because I always forget. My last pattern I was working on was 3/8, so. Watching it this weekend. So is it helping having those tutorials launched at the beginning of classes rather than when classes are over? I just think it's just a lot better for you guys to be able to go to the live classes and have the tutorial classes together. So seam allowances, where are you? Half inch. His name is Cujo. I love it. We had a purebred beagle. Man, I miss him. Oh, you have a bulldog too? Super cute. I'm all about dogs. A demon pug. Hilarious. Both of our dogs are both rescues, so I think our next dog we may do puppy again. I don't know. Now that I'm working from home, it might work, but Dave really wants a lab again, so we'll see. I don't think we can have any other dog with Coco because she'll just teach it to bark. How's everybody making out? Are we ready to do the next step here? As I just keep, yeah, I'm trying to hide my mess by hiding it with stuff. I'm so happy that the autofocus is fixed. Okay, where is my ruler? I don't believe how unorganized I am. I apologize. You like it? Okay, cool, Karen. Awesome. And again, it's a win-win for me because when I have a tutorial sitting in there for 60 days, because I always do the tutorial before the classes start. That way, because most of these I've never made before, so that gives, I like to do my tutorials when it's brand new to me. So if I come across any issues or if I make mistakes, I can share those with everybody and share how I got over them. But then it also gives me practice to let me know what I'm getting into when I come to teach it live. So it's win-win. But my stats get affected when I have an inactive video for like 60 days. So now that I can release it at the beginning, that's good. But only 30 days to the public side is really good too. So Awesome. I'm so happy that that is working for everybody. Okay, so we are going to, I have my bottom here. We got to move along here. And what we are going to do is we are going to measure up a 1/2 inch from on the back side and mark along the straight sides. This is going to help us get this nice and center. Like so. And then just somewhere in the middle here, right on this curvy part, I'm just going to do a line like that at a 1/2 inch. And then you're going to see that when you go to put your Peltex or Decoval heavy on, if you cut it right, which I didn't, it's a little bit off, but it's pretty close. It gives you an idea of where you're going to go ahead and fuse this. So go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a good fuse to get this on. If you like to have a decorative bottom, that's where you can definitely go ahead. If you have a sew-in, and you can top stitch all along this, which gives it a really nice decorative bottom on here. Just make sure your bobbin thread is looking really pretty if you're going to be doing that. I'm not going to be doing that. Hi, Cynthia. Wow, long time no see. How are you? I guess I saw you last week. Never mind. You're just watching today? Okay, so I'm going to take this over to the iron there, and I am going to give it a good fuse. I love my new iron so much. So I'll put this up so you can actually see me going over there. All right, I'm gonna go and give this a fuse. Just ignore my mess. Oh my gosh, I think I'm saying that every single time, to ignore my mess. So, okay. Look at the steam that comes from this thing. I just love it. That's good and stuck on. Ow, hot. Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. Everybody let me know when you are there. Karen just messaged me. Yes, Karen, that is that wallet. I love it. Hi, Betty. All right, let me find, where are my instructions? Well, they're in front of me. I'm all over the place. My goodness. All right, for those that have just watched the tutorial, do you remember what my measurements were for where I put the purse feet? Oh, I don't have any purse feet here. Did I do purse feet on it? Maybe I didn't do purse feet. Let me go look. I'll grab my Lola. I did do purse feet. Okay. So this is what we're working on here. I am going to go ahead and grab some purse feet because I did not. This is optional. It's not in the pattern. Purse feet. Right there. I hope I have some. Stay. How's everybody making out there? You love the sound of the steam? Awesome. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 purse feet. Kim, when you get to the purse feet part, can you let me 1.5 up, 2 inches in? Perfect. That sounds about right. Thank you, Nicole. All right. So give everybody a couple more minutes. So, and then we'll do the purse feet. So let me know when you're ready. About 2 minutes or so. Well, it gives me a chance to get organized a little bit. 1, 2. So I've been making so many tutorials lately that I can't remember what I have done and what I haven't until I look at the actual bag. So yeah, I did do purse feet because they're right there. I just love this Lola. So this tutorial, or this class, I won't be doing the connectors. I'm going to do hidden connectors. Oh my gosh, my table is such a disaster. Hey, Benny. Baby. Good boy. And said he hasn't been feeling very good. Give it another minute. So this class, we might not get through everything on the exterior, but the lining goes together really fast. So we'll be finishing up the exterior next week and finishing the lining next week. You love that bag? Oh yes, it's a Euro Pro 8004 or something like that, I think. It's a it was donated by a subscriber. That subscriber wanted to remain anonymous, but they know who they are. It's an amazing iron. It is a pressure steam iron. I was going to get I was going to get a gravity feed iron from Cleaner Supply, and that's where the water tank...
I don't know that.
Okay, Alexa. Where the water tank hangs from the roof. This one, what it's sitting on is the water tank. It's amazing, and it fuses things so fast that I will probably never ever use my heat press for fusing interfacings anymore. I love it. I've only had it for a week, and I just love it so much. Okay, so I'll put you guys back down. We'll get these purse feet installed. All right, here we go. So this is what it looks like. What we are going to do is I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to measure 2 inches this way and 1.5 inches up. So, or was it 2 inches from there? Okay. Where this little straight edge is here, we're going to do 2 inches in from that and 1.5 inches up. I think that's what I did in the tutorial. That looks about right. And make a mark right on that corner like that. And then go ahead and do that with the other sides. So again, from this little straight edge right here, put your 2 inches there. 2 inches in and 1.5 inches up from this long side. And make another dot. Oh yes, Lenora, I learned that already. And you got to let all the steam out of it before you open up that water reservoir. For sure. 2 inches in, 1.5 inches up. You could probably put one in the middle here if you wanted to. There's plenty of room for one in the middle if you wanted to do that, or even 6. I'm just going to do the 4 though. I love adding purse feet to my bags. I think it just adds a little something, whether it's part of the pattern or not. I just really like it. Okay, and then I just take my X-Acto knife and I just do a little slit right at those dots. Not very big, just enough to get the prongs through. And because we have the Decovil Heavy on there already, we don't have to put any scraps behind the posts because it's already stabilized. Okay, and then go ahead and stick them through. I hope I chose the right color. Is this the color I was using? Yeah, I think it looks nice. Okay, and then once I have those in, now I do this, I don't know if it really does anything, but I like to just give them a little bit of a quarter turn. I just feel like it locks them in better. I don't know if it really does, but in my mind it does. Oh, I lost one. Where'd my other one go? Oh, well. And then these, you could pull your prongs apart and put them in each thing. I don't. I just put them through, oh, there it is, through one of the holes. But you want to make sure you're using the washers. And then spread those prongs out nice. I think the purse feet help save the bottom of the bag too from when you're putting it down and all that. And then I always back mine as well. Look how messy this is. I am so sorry. I've actually got a thing to put under my desk now that I got to get Dave to install so I can put my keyboard and stuff under my table, which will be really nice. Rather than it hanging out everywhere. And then I just use, this is Gorilla Tape. Use duct tape. I like the Gorilla Tape because it's white. Guess I can move this out of the way. Maybe. There we go. You like adding purse feet too, Cynthia and Kim? Me too. Sometimes it's hard to decide where to put them. That's why I was asking what I did in the video, because I thought it was pretty perfect. But I didn't write it down, so of course not. Okay, ow. And then once you got that tape over those prongs, just kind of flip it over and give it a good flatten that tape down. All right. So everybody let me know when you're there. I'm just gonna go grab some of my scrap foam because I think it'll be big enough for my bottom. We will start interfacing these. I do not like to waste stuff, as you guys know, so no. This one's gonna work for me. All right. Oh, right here will be even better. Okay, so let me know when you have your purse feet on, and then we will start putting on our foam. I'm just gonna throw it under the table for now. My floor is so dirty. Excuse me. I'm feeling so much better. I am completely over my cold and flu now. Have my voice back, not coughing, I'm not sniffling. I'm grateful. But tomorrow I'm going for my shingles vaccine, so I'm sure that'll knock me on my butt for a couple of days. So my second shingles vaccine. Kathy's ready. I'll give it another minute or so, and then we will move on. Oh my gosh. Sunday we'll be clearing. Oh, blah, blah. Hi, Diane. We waited for you for a little bit, but then we had to get started. Kathy is ready. Kathy with the C is ready. Diane is here. Awesome. We're just putting our Decaville Heavy on our bottoms and adding purse feet if you want purse feet. So didn't really miss too much. How was your day, Diane? Did you have a good day at work? And never be sorry for being late. You can always catch up later. Okay, so we're going to move on. So now I'm going to take my foam. I'm going to put my bottom over top of this. Now we are going to be basing this on differently than what we do most, but go ahead and I just use my, because I'm doing sew-in foam, I didn't like in the pattern how, you can see here, how when they put it on, they zigzagged it outside of the seam allowances. I'd always be scared that you'd see those zigzag marks. Again, you're more than welcome to do it as per the pattern. I'm just going to show you how I do it and how we're going to try to make it less bulky. Mine didn't end up being bulky at all in these seams, so I think that this way works well. Again, if you are using Decaville Light instead of foam, you wouldn't have to worry about the bottom because you have the Decaville Heavy there as well already. But if you are going to be using Decaville Light, make sure you use the pattern piece for the stabilizer, so it's outside of the seam allowances, and then go ahead and fuse that on. But, or if you're using a fusible foam, you can do the same thing. But because I'm using a sew-in foam, this is how I get around that, making it stay on okay. I will for sure, Kim. I learned that the last time. I think you told me that last time I got it a couple months ago, 3 months ago or so. But I am not getting shingles again. I had that a year and a half ago, and it was the most excruciating thing I think I've ever been through besides childbirth. It was terrible. Let the stress get to me, and it triggered it. All started because of COVID. Okay. Ooh, that one I broke. Okay, so usually we would go ahead and we would baste this foam on with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. But because we have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, we are going to go ahead and baste it on with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And then we are able to cut back a scant 1/4 of an inch out of the seam type thing. So that is what we are going to do. So I'm going to take this over to Tiffany, and we are going to baste this on with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Let me just move everything out of the way. I don't know where I'm putting anything today. I had tables here, and now I don't know what I did with them. Okay, let's move us over. Everything's set up for the tutorials, so everything is kind of a disaster right now. Okay, so yeah, use a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. It could be a little bit more even, it could be 3/8 or so. I'm going a 1/4. So these stitches will not be shown because we will be doing a 1/2 inch seam allowance when we go to sew these, I believe. Oh, I think this thread is going to be lovely with this. I haven't used this thread yet. It's a new thread that I got from Cleaner Supply. It's almond thread, but I haven't used this color yet. Can you guys hear me okay when I'm at the machine? Hi, June. No problem. Hope everything's okay with your family. So the goal for today is to get all of the interfacing on and the back panel, back connectors done. And then we can do the other stuff for homework. Oh, June, I hear you, but do you know what? I have some tricks for this one. So it won't be too bad. Trust me, mine turned out pretty good. It goes on a little bit differently than the most top zippers. I'm not one that usually likes top zippers, but this one isn't too bad at all. I actually really enjoyed making this bag. More than I thought I would. Okay, so we'll give everybody another minute or two, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with our excess foam here. Does it look like my camera is... No, sorry, I'm probably making you guys all really dizzy. I have it up really high now that I figured out the whole autofocus thing, so I can show you a little more on the table here. I need some new cutting pads. I want pink ones. Cool. I hope my tricks are good. I think I shared them in the tutorial. But this is not like the Annette bag, or what else did we just do top zippers in? Yeah, the Annette bag we just did the top zipper in. And the Baronia, we did the top zipper in. This is easier than those ones, I promise you. Okay, let me know when you are done. Where can I put these so they're not kind of in the way of things? Give it one more minute. Time's already flying by. It's already 45 minutes after the hour. It's crazy how fast things go. First two classes are always so easygoing, and then the last two we always end up having to catch up. This one's a pretty fast bag though. Diana's done. Kathy is good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, has everybody used sew-in foam, or are you using anything else? So you can see here, because we did that big seam allowance, see how far the foam can come off of that vinyl? So we are going to just trim that foam without cutting the vinyl as close as we can to that stitching. So you kind of just fold it back like this, and your scissors are kind of going sideways, almost like almost completely flat. And just kind of trim across like that. You can always go back in. See? And it really reduces that bulk away. So go around and do that. See, look how lovely that is. Lisa, your neighbor's buying your handbags. Excellent. I hope you're selling them for what they're worth. It's always exciting when your peers want to buy your bags. So 90% of my clientele is in my hometown here. I admit I'm related to many people here, and I know many people here, but then they tell their friends. My cousins and my aunts and everything, I gave free bags to and gave them a bunch of cards. And then when their friends say, oh my gosh, I love your handbag, this is how I started it in the very beginning, then their job, because I gave them a free bag, is to hand out my cards and tell people how to get a hold of me and talk me up. And it's really, really worked. I have probably about 300 clients now. I mean, they're not always ordering bags all the time, but after a year or so, they usually come back because they're ready for a new one. That's for the custom bags. I'm trying to get away from doing custom because I want to do more of the teaching side of it, but custom was my income. But because of these classes, it's enabling me to do less custom and more teaching and more tutorials, which is where my passion really is, sewing and teaching how to do it. So thank you everybody for becoming members and helping me. Plus it's so much fun and we all become friends. And okay, so if you guys don't know what this foam is I'm using, this is the Pretty in Pink Sew Foam from Galaxy Customs, but you can use any kind of foam. I just like this one because it's pink. It's pretty good foam. So Lisa, which handbags have you sold? And Bill Mark, yes, exactly. The tutorials help me build stock for my 3 big markets I have at Christmas. All right, so you guys see how, I mean, it's not a full ½ inch out, it's about 1/4 of an inch out of the seam allowances, but I think it works pretty good doing it that way. All right, so I'll give everybody a minute or so to do that, and then we're going to work. I'm going to grab out my other pieces here for my exterior. I got to go and give that a quick press because it's all wrinkly. I'll go do that quickly. So today we're going to do one of the panels. We're going to do the panel that has the zipper pocket, and then the other side, if we run out of time, we will end up doing for homework. So I'm just going to go give this a really quick press. Being careful because it's vinyl. screening it, which is amazing. I love that. Okay. Now, depending when you bought your Lola pattern, does everybody's piece look like mine? Because this is the updated one. Let me find my pattern piece. Where are you? I'm just going to use this. Take an iron to the fuzzy edges, Amy, and that should work okay. It'll kind of burn the fuzzies away. Are you using a base coat for sure? Because that'll definitely help build that up. So usually I use the base coat for 3 layers and kind of nail file it in between. Excellent, Lisa. Congratulations to your class bags, even better. I just started sewing in 2017 and it started with quilts. So I started bag making 2018, I think, ish. So I'm pretty new to it too. Okay, where is my other phone? All right. We are going to move on. So I'm grabbing, this is a bigger piece of foam. So let me just kind of cut this up so I don't have it all over the place. So we're going to do the same thing again using our main piece like this as our template type thing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it, but I'm not clipping it just yet because we are going to do something a little different with the top that's going to make doing the zipper a lot easier on this without the bulk like how we had in the Annette where it was a little bit of a struggle. Again, if you're following the pattern, you can use the pattern piece for the foam, but that's for a sew-in or a fusible foam. Or if you want to do the zigzag, again, you're more than welcome to do that, but I don't like that myself. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means I don't like it. So I just teach what I know and what I enjoy. So, oops, I cut a little end off of it, but that's okay. Okay. So if I could get everybody's attention here to kind of watch. So we have our foam is pretty much the same size as our pattern piece. Oh, good, done. I hope you had a good appointment. So we want to have the foam a 1/2 inch outside of where the zipper is going to be. So our zipper is not going to give us any grief because foam and zippers give us grief. And because we didn't cut this foam smaller, we definitely want it to be outside of that zipper. An industrial, you'd probably have no problems with it, but then you end up with this really bulky section right where the zipper is. Whereas with this one, the foam is like almost right here, so you can't really see it. And with this bag, we do not top stitch it. It's very different that way. So I think it's important that we cut the foam out of that top section, especially because we're not top stitching it, which will compress that foam. We will not be able to do that. So that's why we are doing this. Okay, so I'm going to pull this away. And right at these corners where our bag kind of goes sharp and then it goes curvy, I am going to just mark right at that corner a 1/2 inch line on my foam with a pen. So right at that corner there. Is that what I'm doing? I'm trying to figure out what I was doing here. 1/2 inch in, like so. Okay, so you're kind of going up the curve right at that line there. Just making a mark like that. And do the same on the other side. My foam doesn't really like that very much. And then, so that's a 1/2 inch from there to there. And then sometimes you can kind of guesstimate it if you wanted to just go ahead and rotary cut that. But I do those little marks so I can actually take where this was at that 1/2 inch, and I can line where that pointed side was down a 1/2 inch right there with this piece, and same with on the other side. It's sticking to my foam. So that's where that 1/2 inch mark was, and that's where that 1/2 inch mark was. And then we can use the top of our pattern piece. See, I marked it here at the 1/2 inch. And then you can go in and just cut away that excess, which works out to be a 1/2 inch-ish or so. Doesn't have to be exact. That way, when we go to baste this on, we'll move this back down to the bottom again, showing you from the back side, and then we have it cut out of where we're going to be putting our zipper. So that is what I do. So we're going to be basting just the sides and the bottom with a 1/4 inch seam allowance again. And then we're going to just leave this kind of floppy, and I'll show you how we're going to get that to stay in. Karen, you've started sewing it. We've started sewing around the same time, some of us. So Karen, are you a COVID sewer? Did you start sewing because of COVID? Does that make perfect sense, June? That is one of the tips that's going to make sewing that zipper so much easier for the top zipper. So I kind of came up with this, and I figured it was really going to help because it's that bulkiness at that zipper that makes it top zippers hard, and sometimes gives you that really thick seam that sometimes if you get too close to it, the zipper doesn't want to go past it or it gets stuck. So this is taking that bulk out of it without having to do it later, and it just makes it so much easier. All right, so this is what we got here. So just like we did with the bottom, we're just going to go from where the foam starts, and we are going to baste it on with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So kind of put your clips at the top of the foam so you know where you're starting and stopping and those corners, and then I'll show you how we're going to control this part here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Lenore, you've been sewing for 50 years, so you probably have tons that you can teach us. That's Karen, you got bored. I love it. Okay, so let's go back over to Tiffany and do those at a 1/4 inch. So we're not going to do the foam on the other main panel. That'll be homework, because I want to get through this one panel, all the aspects of it, because the other panel is the same except for it doesn't have the pocket. Okay, so where our little V's are cut out here, I'm just gonna baste straight across it. We're gonna have to cut those out, but that's okay. Just go right across it. We'll deal with that later. I cut my corner off my bag. Oh man. I think it'll be okay. Oh, that thread matches almost perfect. Lenore is a pro, hey? Let me go back to here. Amy says, will the zipper be the same kind of bulk as the Baronia? Just wondering. What did I use inside this one? It won't be the same kind of bulk as the Baronia, but again, I'm one that always uses, I normally use cottons. I don't usually use a lot of waterproof canvases myself, but no, it won't be as bad. We will only be putting that zipper on with a 1/4 inch seam allowance too. We won't be doing a 3/8. So again, that makes it a lot easier as well. All right. So once that is done, you're going to see we have this all flopping. You don't necessarily want it to be flopping. So all I do, you could do this on a domestic machine too, because we will not be stitching through this, is I just take some double-sided tape. If I can find the end. Where are you? There it is. I'm just going to take a piece about that big, just kind of guesstimating it against the bag. And just putting it somewhere right about here, sticking it down. And that double-sided tape will just hold it in place so it's not flopping all over the place. See, that's not flopping anywhere. And then go ahead and just for more restitch, we're going to go ahead and cut our foam outside of that seam allowance. So again, we basted this on with 1/4 of an inch, which is bigger than we usually do. But we have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so that's why we're doing it bigger. If it was a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, I would probably stick with 1/8 of an inch baste, but this just makes it so we can get that out of that seam a little bit better, especially if you're on a domestic machine. I really need to get new scissors. I need to order some Kai's. I think I've decided on Kai scissors. If anybody has a link to some good ones, let me know. Because these are just Amazon ones from like years and years ago, and they're just dull. I've sharpened them a few times, but they were only like $30. They're not really expensive. Time to upgrade. Holy moly, we have a huge storm outside. It's like super, super windy, so hopefully I don't lose internet here. Kim wants to know, Lenore, what did you sew before bags? I love getting to know everybody. Okay, Anna, that would be awesome if you can send me a link. All right. So see how it's nicely outside of those seams, and most of it got cut out of these little V's. I'm going to cut my little V's out here like this. I'm cutting through some stitches, but they're just basting stitches. It's not a big deal. There we go. Okay, so everybody let me know when you're there. The panel we're going to be working on next is this back panel here. Oh, okay, in the pattern, this is the front panel. I've chosen this to be my back panel. My tag is on the front, but I just prefer this on the back of my bag, so that's how I'm going to make it. There you go, Karen. Karen wants you to post the link, Anna. Hi, Jade. How are you? We miss you. Are you not sewing the Lola this month with us? Lenore's primary garment sewing used to make heirloom dresses as a business. Heirloom dresses, nice. One day, I hope to learn to sew garments. I can do simple dresses. Oh my gosh, it is so windy out there. I've got to get organized while you guys all finish that up. Find what we need next. All right. So if you're waiting, actually I'll show you guys here in a second. Moved everything into drawers right here, so everything is accessible for me. Lauren says, Lenore, it's been 46 years for me sewing. I was sewing garments. I started quilting in 2015 and bags in 2018. Kathy with the C says, I started sewing about 12 years ago when I lived in Yellowknife. It was a great place to learn quilting. Yay, Kathy, you're a fellow Canadian. I've never been to Yellowknife. So you're my neighbor to the north because I'm in BC. Oh no, Jade, your mojo's not doing too well. If you ever need to chat, just message me. I'll get your mojo going for you again. Lauren, you don't sew garments anymore? I don't know if I'd be very good at it because of the sizing part. Lenore worked in a sewing store that sold machines and had quilting classes for 20 years. That sounds amazing. Okay, so we'll give everybody 3 more minutes because we want to get through this panel today for sure. Don says, Jade, I've heard sewing a pouch helps the sojo quick and easy. Do you know what's going to get your sojo going, Jade? Is my wallet week. It has my sojo going. Kim used to sew clothes when her daughter was young, but haven't done it in so long. Karen made her first pair of pants yesterday. How is that? Do they fit? I'm afraid if I worked at a fabric store, I would have no paycheck because I would probably spend it at the fabric store. I'd be hoarding it all and then spending my check. Lauren's going to a quilt show on Saturday. Hey, I'm halfway done hand quilting my quilt. I'm really enjoying the hand quilting. I like it more than machine quilting. Lexi started sewing tutus about 3 years ago. I've been doing bags since March of last year. Amazing. I just love everybody's sewing stories. They fit perfectly. Awesome. I made myself some Ellie and Mac dresses. I forget what they're called. But they're pretty easy. They're just serger. And you use stretchy material, so can't go wrong. Yes, Jade, I have all of my wallets chosen out. I'm not sharing them until wallet week. The only one I'll tell you is the necessary clutch wallet, because we've already done a class for it. But I've chosen wallets that I find you can't see on YouTube too much, and I hope I chose some good ones, and I do have one men's one. All right, let me find the pattern. I'm swirling all over the place. I keep misplacing my pattern. Why do I keep doing that? It's on the floor. It's one thing when you're sewing with friends like we're doing here. It's so easy to get off track. All right. The Devon is your nemesis, Jade? Aw. Jade, try the Clematis by Blue Calla. It's a really fun sew, nice easy pouch. And it has a really interesting or really unique shape. I really like doing the Clematis pouch. Yeah, Amy, just one men's wallet. It was hard for me to find a designer that would let me do it. So I finally did. I'm super happy. And she's the new designer for me, so. All right, we are going to move on. So we are going to work on that back pocket. So let's prepare. Now, everybody that's taken my class already knows how to do this. We are doing the overlay on the back. It's very similar to how we do all of our lining overlays with just a few extra things for getting around the foam and such on the back. But yeah. Just one more so you can buy a pattern. All right, so I always do my zipper tape long, so I just measure my zipper tape with my lining here for my zipper. And push this up. You can see my belly here. I have my handy dandy fork here. This is how I put on my zipper pulls. Sometimes I draw a line on the back to line up. With these, I just kind of put it on 45-degree angle backwards like this. Oh, and that didn't go on very straight, so I just keep doing it until it's straight. Usually takes me, that one's not bad. I'll go with that. So that's not too bad. Camera back down. And I am going to be using double-sided tape. If your machine does not like double-sided tape, please, please, please use clips here, because it will gum up your needle. If your machine, just know what your machine can handle. Mine can handle it. I will honestly admit the whole reason I got an industrial was so I could use double-sided tape. And now I go through double-sided tape like it was air. Okay, so on one side of this, we're going to put double-sided tape or clipping on the right with it right side up. And do it on the other piece as well. Okay, Jade wants to buy the men's wallet. If I tell you guys, I'm a terrible secret keeper. If I tell you the pattern, let me put you in my face, for the men's wallet for wallet week, do you guys promise to keep it a secret? Do you want to know what the men's wallet is? She could take a peek. I need at least 3 people to say yes, please, for me to do it. And you can't tell anybody else. It is just here. Kim says yes. Amy says shh. She doesn't think I should. Zipper mouthed. Please. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. This is the, okay, so I already told you guys the necessary, you're funny, necessary clutch wallet, which of course, as a member, you can go back and see those live classes. That was the very, 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 very first class we ever did live. It was like the tester group. There was only 13 of us in it. Now we have 40, which is amazing. So I have the necessary clutch wallet. Now the men's wallet, the one and only men's wallet I'm doing, look at all you. Your lips are sealed? Okay. It's called the Men's Architect Wallet by Purses by Holly. I will find a link here to send you guys so you can see it. So I'm sure most of you have seen, I think Kasaya did it. She did the Architect Wallet by Purses by Holly. This is the men's version of it. Let me find it here for you. She sells on Etsy. Hold on. Okay. This is it here. There you go. Okay, so Lisa, we're doing the Architect men's wallet. Kim, how is the pattern? I haven't tried it yet. Oh my gosh. If I lose power, I apologize. It is just storming out there. Yay, finally. Okay. That's a bonus being a member. The 21 of you on right now know what I'm doing, and anybody that watches later. So that is the plan for that one. I think it'll be a good one. Oh, really late or June. That's something to think about. What about the front pocket? Does it fit well in a front pocket? Lisa, you knew it? You knew I was going to do that one? That's all right. Okay, back to work. All right, so we're going to take the tape off of one. Let's get out the bed and look at fabric. I have some cord too. All right. Oh, do you guys hear that thunder? It's like black outside, and it's normally clear blue skies right now. Crazy. Okay, so I have my zipper right side up, my lining right side up. It doesn't matter right now which way we are closing. You're going to go ahead and stick them both right side up, right along that top there. And then we're going to go ahead and sew across here with 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have made the gratitude wallet, Diane. I've made a couple of them. I have the hardest time putting that top bar on. Okay, June, good to know. I probably will be doing it as per the pattern because I told Holly I would not venture away from the pattern and modify it too much because there's nobody else that has done the pattern. So I'm going to stick to the pattern, and then once we learn it, we can always go ahead and do what we want with it, right? Okay. Did you guys hear the thunder? There's tons. I love the men's wallets by Sonar, but she does her own videos, and they're all cork. So those are the ones I primarily do. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just sew along where we stuck that down. I just pretty much, I haven't changed to my zipper foot here. It doesn't matter too much. I just have my foot sitting right up against my zipper teeth, and it's about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, which is good. Go all the way across. I get to do all of her videos, yes. Purses by Holly has sent me all of her patterns to do, so I'm super excited. They're cute patterns too. Okay, then we're going to take our other lining panel, take that tape off. Now this other zipper part that isn't attached to anything, we're going to push those lining panels right sides together. Make sure they're nice and even. Oh, my cat is crying. Hi, Titus. You don't like the thunder, do you? Stick it across and then go ahead and baste that on with 1/4 of an inch seam allowances, or 1/8 of an inch seam allowance as well. Okay, cool, June. If I have any questions, I'm going to message you, if you don't mind. Just because you have experience with the pattern. I'm kind of rushing through this part because we kind of know how to do this part already. Okay, so this is what you should have. At this point, you can go ahead, if you've done your zipper long like me, and just trim it up. And then I'm just going to take this to the iron and give this a quick seam to flatten the zipper teeth. So our zipper is right side up, and our 2 lining panels are wrong side up. Yes, for sure, Jade. Oh my gosh, that thunder's crazy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and iron this. Oh, I'm going to trip on my phone. Boom-de-dome. Best iron ever. I love this thing so much. Okay. And we have the lining done. So I'll give everybody 2 minutes to get there and then we'll move on. Lisa loves the Architect Ladies wallet. I'm not doing that one for Wallet Week because there are tutorials on it, but I will do a tutorial on it eventually. Oh wow, Nicole, I think your storm is working towards us because you're not too far away. I think Titus is just, my cat Titus is just crying because he was outside. He just came in through his cat door. So he's probably soaking wet and not impressed by it at all. Yeah, the rain's coming down. It's stormy. I haven't seen a storm like that this year. This year. This is crazy. I'm just looking out my window here. It's distracting me. If I can do it, anybody can. You know what? Every pattern is doable. I will admit there are some that I'm not good at. As much as I love Lucala, my kryptonite there is the stone crop. No, not the stone crop. The Clover Convertible. Oh my gosh, it's hailing now. If I lose internet connection, you guys know why. I get through it. I've made many. I just don't like the train case. Oh, Jade, lightning is terrible here because we're always on fire, but the rain is just, it's crazy. I wish I could show you guys somehow. Can you hear that thunder? You know what? I probably can show you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to change it to Tiffany, and then I'm going to move the camera up. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Woo! I don't know if you can see. Oh, probably not. Whoa. You see it? Look at the trees. It's crazy. Sorry, you guys probably didn't really want to see that. Now I'm probably making you dizzy. I gotta get my camera back in place. Come on, camera. Okay. Get that back to where I need it to be. There we go. Hi, Cocoa Beans. Oh, Coco, you don't like the... Okay, Coco really doesn't like the thunder. You heard that one? It's crazy. Sorry, didn't mean to make you dizzy. Hi, Coco. Come here. Here, who wants to say hi to Coco? Come here, Coco. Coco, come here. Hey, Coco. Hey, come here. It's okay. Are you shaking? She's scared. This is the girl that makes all the noise. Yeah, some storm. Coco, come out from under the table. Are you going to sit under the table? Oh, she's scared, the poor baby. You need rain there? Coco really hates thunder. She's hiding under the table. Can you see her butt here? You can lie down there. I have my foam under there. She can go and lie under there. Okay. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Well, let's try to get through this. So if I do lose connection, we know why. Okay, so the zipper's done. We can put that aside for now. And now we're going to do our overlay in almost the exact same fashion that we do our lining overlays. So I'm going to kind of rush through this. If you need me to slow down, let me know. We've done this in past classes before, so I'm speaking mainly for the new people there. So if you need me to slow down, please stop me, okay? Okay, so on the back of our overlay, we're going to take some double-sided tape, and we're going to make sure we're keeping the double-sided, we're going to be putting it along this straight edge and this straight edge, but far enough away from the edge that where we'll be top stitching along these edges with 1/8 of an inch that we will not be going through the tape, especially if you're on a domestic machine. So I'm going to put some on. This is the smallest, cutest little overlay ever. So you can see I'm not going right to the edge. So I know I won't be sewing through it with my needle. And same with the other long side. Okay. So for placement for this, I have to take a look here. So we are going to find our bottom center. Actually, if I can find my main piece, we can do this easier. Let me go grab my pattern piece because there's an easier way of doing this. 1 second. It's okay, Coco. You can hang out. It's okay. Oh, no, let's not trip me though. All right, so you can do the measurements as per the pattern if you want to. We are going to mark our center still, so go ahead and fold it in half. I got to remember I cut a little bit of the corner off of one. Oh my gosh. Somebody's garbage can is going down our street. And I just do small snips where my centers are. You're definitely going to want these centers marked for when we do our zippers. Could have been easier to do it before I put the foam on, but I always forget. Okay. So I'm going to take my marking pen. If you're using cotton, use your air erase pen like so. You're actually going to be cutting into it, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to lay, what I've done is it has a placement square here on our main pattern piece, and you can't really see it on mine, but there's like a faint drawing line here that goes like this. I'm trying to make it more clear there, which is the same shape, can you see that, as our overlay. So I just went and cut in my pattern piece a little slit on the side, which is this part of the overlay for my placement. So I can lay this down like so, nice and centered. And I can just mark one side like that, and then flip it over and do the other side, and then you have perfect placement for your overlay. Again, you can definitely measure it with the measurements that the pattern gives you for it, but I just find this is faster and easier. Like so. Put that aside for now. And then you're going to take your overlay and just take the top tape off like so. And you're going to line up, see how these are exactly the same? We're going to line that up there and line this one up here so it's nice and even. Measure up from the bottom before we stick that bottom piece down just to make sure we're nice and straight, which we are. Stick it down more, lift up this bottom one, and I find that, oops, if you just let it go like that, it lands exactly where it needs to be, nice and even, and then press it down like that. All right, did that make sense to everybody? Any questions about that? Oh my gosh, it's so loud. Where are you, Coco? Oh, she's not in here anymore. Everybody still there? Oh yeah, she's over there hiding in the corner. Oh, Cocoa Beans. Benny can't hear it. He's deaf. Come here, Coco. It's okay. Come here, baby. You can come snuggle. So give everybody about 2 minutes to do that. Oh. I'm scratching her butt. She's hiding under my table again. Here's her tail, see? It's okay. You can lie down there, right at my feet. It's okay, baby. I don't believe she's hiding under the table. Aww. Her head is in my lap. You're still there? Yeah, it's super loud. I'm right under my window, but... Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this to the machine, and just along these top, like the outer perimeter of this, we're going to stitch around. I'm going to do my typical pulling my threads long and tying them off in the back, because I like to have that seamless line. So I'll show you guys how to do that again for a refresher for some of you and maybe new for others. So let me just switch back over to Tiffany. Okay, Coco, you can't be under Tiffany. Go under the table. Go. My luck, she'll get Tiffany going. All right. So put it to your top stitch length. On my industrial, I use about a 6.5. I'm taking my threads and I'm pulling them super long, and I'm going to hold on to them. And as I start sewing along that top perimeter, I am not going to backstitch because I don't want that backstitch line. I want to make this look nice and seamless, especially because this is on the exterior of the bag. I think it'll just make it look really nice. So start sewing, and once you get past, you can let them go. Take it nice and slow because this is definitely seen being on the back side of the bag. Needle down to pivot. Oh my gosh. You won't believe how dark it is out there. Needle down to pivot. Because I'm here, I'm just going to reach under, and you can see my bobbin thread right here. It's nice because I'm using kind of a contrasting thread so you can actually see it. So I'm just going to give that bobbin thread where we started a little pull. I'm just going to pull this loop up. And what that little loop is our top thread up here. So you'll see this here. And as I pull on that, it's pulling that thread through to the back. So now I got both starting threads in the back, which is what we want. So kind of push them up and out of the way. And then continue on your merry way. Oops, I gotta go a little further. Oh, Dave will be driving home in this. I hope he's okay. I am so happy I chose this color thread for this. It's almost the exact same color as the pattern on this vinyl. More thunder, crazy. I hope we don't get any fires. Okay. Now as we come back to almost our starting spot, when you get about 2 stitches away, you want to slow down and hand crank the needle, mainly because we want our needle to land in that exact same starting hole. So right there. You can pull it away, pull your threads along again, like so. Hold on to those threads because you want to be aware which one is your bobbin thread, so you pull up the right thread. So this is my bobbin thread. Again, I'm going to give it a little bit of a tug, and it's going to pull up that loop, and then pull that top thread through. And then you'll see it has a nice and seamless line all the way around. Okay? My mom just texted me saying, big storm. It's like, really, Mom? Oh, we got a couple people from Pittsburgh there, I see. All right, so you can see how it's like a nice line. We don't have that back stitching or anything. So now we got to deal with these threads. So you got these 4 threads in the back. Grab 2 in each hand, and I like to tie mine in 3 or 4 knots. For the new people, have you done this before? Okay, because I'm using a bonded thread, I like to also burn those ends. What they do is it almost makes a little melted, I'm burning my foam. You see there? Kind of does like a little burnt, besides the burnt foam there, but it does like a little knot there. And then that is all nice and neat there. So if nobody's going to stop me, I'm going to power through because it's already 5:30 and I want to get this zipper on and at least 1 connector on so we can do the rest for homework. You haven't done it yet, Elba? Are there any questions? Okay, and Kathy, you know what we're doing here. So Elba, when you're doing this, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or even message me on Facebook and I can help you through it if you have questions. Elba and Kathy, are you both on the Facebook group? All that is linked down below. So we have an actual subgroup for the Lola, so you can ask questions in there and your people, like our classmates, can help us or what have you. So yeah, that's a good way to get a hold of me is too. All right, so I'm going to move on. So as you can see, we've got it all stitched there. We have it on the exterior. Now just in this center part, without cutting this overlay, I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm just going to start my cutting like so. Now this is a little bit different when we do it with the lining because we actually have this foam that we're working with as well, so it's a little thicker. So then I go in with my scissors and I go underneath. I'm not cutting through my overlay, I'm going underneath my overlay and not cutting these stitches. I'm just kind of going and cutting a V into the back. See, you can see it there. And that's cutting away the foam and the excess here, and so you can see that overlay we just did on the bottom. So you want to go ahead and do that on both sides. And now it's suddenly very quiet outside. That's so eerie, and the wind almost completely stopped. It's so bizarre. Okay, and then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut as much of this foam away as you can without cutting those stitches. We want this bulk gone. Another way you could have done it is you could have cut this, use the pattern piece and cut the square out of the foam as well, but I just find this is faster than having to make sure you get those measurements right. Faster is always better, and it's still not taking away from quality. So first I'm cutting the foam, and then I will go and cut that excess vinyl away, but it's just super thick, so foam I try to do first. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same and cut back this vinyl so only that overlay is showing on the back there. So I'm going to go and cut that excess away. This doesn't have to be pretty. Nobody is going to see this ever unless they take their bag apart. So in the pattern, I know that they don't have a zipper pocket on the inside of this bag. I am adding one in with the overlay, mainly because I want to be able to turn it the way I like to turn the bag, through an opening in the zipper pocket. So you will be doing the lining side with a zipper pocket like this for homework. The same thing. The only difference between these two is this one we are going to sew the bottom shut, but when you do the lining one, you're going to leave the bottom open for turning later, if that makes sense. Oh my goodness, Kim, tornadoes. We don't get tornadoes here. It's okay. Okay, so I'll give everybody 2 or 3 minutes or so. Let me know when you're done here. The thunder's starting again. Where did Coco go? Coco? Are you in for stuff? There you are. Yeah, she's hiding with me. Hi, baby. If you guys haven't noticed, I love my babies, my fur babies, so much. And have you noticed how quiet she gets when there's thunder? She's not barking. She's not howling. She just wants me to reassure her she's going to be okay. Thank you, Anna. Can you text me that as well? Because I'm lazy. Hi, good girl. Hey, baby, you're beautiful. And Benny's just sleeping away. We'll give it 1 more minute. Okay, Coco, you can't be on my line. No, you're scared. She's shaking so bad. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Lisa just donated to my coffee account. Thank you so much. Still saving for a new cutting table. We have the countertop. We just need the underneath part to build from IKEA. So thank you so much. Yeah, we don't get tornadoes here. When I lived in Winnipeg, we had a funnel cloud. That was scary enough for me. Super sweet. Thank you so much, Lisa. Every little bit helps me make these videos better, and yeah, it's expensive getting everything ready to go. Okay, we're going to move on. So now on the back side of this, I am going to once again take some, where is it? Double-sided tape. Make sure it's at least 1/8 of an inch away from the rectangular opening. Like so. You may have to cut your foam a little bit more out of the way. I'm looking at this one here. Closing to the left, okay. Okay. So now we're going to take our zipper panel here. We want to make sure the pull is closing to the left. We're going to take the tape off of just the top part for now. And we are going to center that part. I like to use my hands underneath to kind of feel where it is and kind of get an idea where that center is. And just place it along the top part of the zipper first. Taking your time to make sure you have it placed nice and even so you have a nice and straight looking zipper. That's a little bit too close there. You want there to be like an even amount of space between the overlay and the zipper tape here, but enough room that you can still open and close this without it getting in the way, which is good, like so. Then once you have that placed well, you can go ahead and take the bottom side tape off. That's okay. It surprises me every time it does that. That's a new thing that YouTube's doing. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello? I just got to check something. Someone went into Riley's room?
What?
Why are you in Riley's room?
Riley told me to do something.
Oh, you're tuning out the computer?
Yes.
Okay. I was spooked that somebody was going into Riley's room, but Riley is not home, but Brady's going to turn off his computer. Okay, and stick that down. And then we're going to do the exact same thing like we did with the exterior, but we're going to do it around this rectangle. Once again, pulling our threads long so we don't have that. I mean, you're more than welcome to go ahead and backstitch if you want to. Again, I just show what my preferences are. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we will attempt to get one connector done. Thank you, Brady. Do you want to turn off Dad's computer too?
Yep.
So mine's a laptop, so it's not a big deal. So I got my threads pulled long here. Okay, and when I get to where my zipper pull is in the way, because I don't have my zipper foot on right now, I'm just going to put my needle down and pull my zipper pull out of the way and then continue on. Make sure that your lining panel, you got one going this way and one going this way, so it's completely found open. Pivot around. Okay, so I'm at this point, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull my back thread, get that loop and pull that top thread through. You can see how I got one there and one there, so I'm fanned out. Continue on. Okay, put my needle down to move my zipper pull back. Okay, and this is where we want to make sure the needle lands in that starting stitch. So about 2 stitches away from it, I start hand cranking so I have more control over my needle and where it lands. Right there. Pull your threads long. Hold on to them so you know which thread you're pulling, which is this one. Pull for your loop and pull that top thread through again. Say top thread through 10 times fast. Top thread through, top thread through, top thread through. It's hard. All right, and then we'll go back to the table and we will tie that off. Any questions at all? So I'm going to tie off those threads. And my lighter. Catching on fire this time. Ooh, could have cut those shorter, I guess. Oh, I got my knot there. All right, this is what it looks like so far. Give everybody a minute or so to get there. Let me know when you're done. Look how good that thread looks with this. It's like a light, it's like the same color as this. It's perfect. And then this is from Fantastic Customs Fabrics in Canada here. You can get this on like a pre-order. And then this is, Anna will have to help me. It's one of her bonded leathers. Is this one? It's not mousse. What is this one? I don't remember what it's called. Terrible. But I love the bonded leathers. Another thing you have to make sure, I gotta get some water, is our markings here. You want to make sure you wipe them away. I'm just using a Tandy leather pen there, so I'll wipe those away later. The wind has completely stopped. That's so bizarre. Still thundering though. Okay, one more minute. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. You can't get it anymore? I still have some because I'm a hoarder. Hoarder of vinyls. I want to say it's Moose, but I think that one's the darker one. But I love it. I wish you could get more. On which one, the Fantastic Customs site or the Galaxy Customs site? Fantastic Customs you do through Facebook. And if you message Kim Byers, you'll see her name on there. She is the she's the owner of it, and she can explain it to you. She has it in a featured section on the page where you can go through the catalogs, you write down the numbers, and then you message her what you want to order. She doesn't have an actual website. Maybe I'll do a live one day and I can show how to do that for her. We'll see. Oh, you have the white bonded leather from Galaxy and love it? Awesome. All right, so we're going to move on because we're running out of time. So we're going to flip this over and we want to close up this pocket. So you're going to take this and flop it down. I'm going to go ahead and trim up. So these are even. Like so. Then we're going to flip this back over, take this to the machine, fold this out of the way, and we're going to go as close as we possibly can to here. So we're going to sew down here. So this will be like a good 3/4 of an inch seam allowance here. Go across the bottom with a 1/2 inch of seam allowance, and then back up the other side. So for homework, you're going to do the lining pocket like this, exactly the same. The only difference is at this point, you're not going to sew up this bottom part. You're only going to sew down these two sides, okay? So we're going to need that bottom open for turning. But for the exterior, we're going to sew all 3 sides. So let's go over and do that. Again, this doesn't have to be exact or pretty or anything like that. It's not going to be seen. I like to backstitch over top of my teeth a couple times just to give it an extra added stop just in case. Yeah, Diane, I didn't know how to do it either until I messaged Kim. So she's super friendly, so feel free to message her and she will explain it all to you. Okay. So that is done. You can see I have all 3 of those sides all sewn up. And then all that's left to do there now is just to trim that up to about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So again, this one we did all the sides, but when you go for homework to do this exact same thing with one of the main lining panels, leave this bottom open for turning. Okay, so that is done. We got 14 minutes to do one connector. Who is doing hidden connectors and who is doing connectors like this and who is doing as per the pattern? Anna says, don't do it. I spent a few days down the rabbit hole looking through all the options she has. Needless to say, I bought a lot of vinyl. And Anna sells vinyl. I did too. I have rolls and pawn rolls of it, so... which is okay. Okay, so for this one, I am doing hidden connectors. I'll show how to do one. If you're doing regular connectors, be sure to look at the tutorial I did because I used Aster bag connectors for mine. But you can really use any kind of connectors you want, or you can even do the strap just like it is in the pattern, where they don't flop down like this or anything like that. It's just all one piece, including the connectors. So I can show you two options. So if you want to see this option, it is in the tutorial. I think the majority of us are doing hidden, so I'm going to do one hidden connector with you guys, and then you can do the other 3 for homework, and then that'll be it for the day. So let's go ahead and get her done. Let's just grab one of the connector pieces and a rectangle ring. And I know we've all done this before. You don't know which ones to do yet, Kim? You have time to think about it. Watch both this video and the other one and see. So Kathy's doing hidden, Diane's doing hidden. I think the majority of us are doing hidden. So I've already gone ahead. Remember, we marked our 1/2 inch line when we were drawing out our pieces on our connectors. And I'm using double-sided tape down each of the long sides. Again, you can really only do the hidden connectors if you have a non-fraying fabric. Fold those long edges into that center. And that should give us a 1 inch connector. So just double check that you're 1 inch, which I am. And then top stitch down each of the folded edges. So let's hop over to the machine and do that. I'm rolling over my foam. Coco's made a bed out of it. This is the quietest you're ever going to hear her. Okay. Making sure my stitching is good, and it is. And I'm just going to go across one of these short edges just so I can save on cutting. It won't show later. And the other side. Now I always do my connectors long just because I find it easier to work with long than with short. Okay. So I'm going to, I gotta get rid of this foam. I'm going to speed through this because we are running out of time and I really want to get through this part. So we cut these connectors to 5 inches. So we are going to mark 2.5 inches on the wrong side. Again, I do have a tutorial on how to do this in the Bagmakers 101 playlist if you need it on my channel. Okay. So we're going to need that and a rectangle ring, but we need to prepare this first. So we're once again going to take our pattern piece, and you can see where the handle placement is. Now these are placed kind of on an angle. So now I know that Nicole is using metal connectors, so you're just going to make sure that you're marking it on an angle. Another thing to make sure, and I learned with this one, is look how far past, like my connectors almost didn't clear this. So you can either angle it more or you can make them shorter or whatever. The Astor bag ones worked okay. So I'm laying my pattern piece down like so. Right at the top of my handle placement here, I placed a little dash line, which is a 1 inch dash line. And I'm going to make that mark like so. Okay. And then for the hidden connectors, I'm going to just kind of do, I'm not going to go all the way to the ends. I'm just going to start my cut with my rotary cutter, just like that. You can see that there, and go in with my scissors and just go to the end of those 1 inch lines. Now this one's not too bad because, well, it's not really out of the way. It is a little bit out of the way. Okay, so I didn't really cut through my foam. But what we want to do is around where that 1 inch cut is, we just want to cut that foam out of it a little bit, out of where this 1 inch gap is, okay? So I've never done it this way with a Lola. Same time, we want to make sure we keep some up here. So I'm just cutting the foam away right now to reveal on the back. Can't see it very well. Oh, it's way up there. Do you know what? We're going to end up just cutting some of that foam away because it's right up where we need it to be. So it's going to look like this. Because we need there to be no foam around where our gap is. So it's just how it's going to be. It'll be fine. We probably could have put these connectors a little bit lower, but I didn't. Okay. So you just really want to make sure that that 1-inch cut line is out of the way, and we want to make sure this foam is kind of cut away too, otherwise it's going to make it really, really bulky there. Kathy's doing metal connectors as well. So right where we put this line, you won't be cutting, you'll be lining your metal connector up there, but you may want to place it there and see how it lies with this, because you can always move it down a little bit if it's coming up too much higher than this, because you don't really want it to be much higher than this line, otherwise it's going to get in the way of our top stitching. So try to make the connector below that line that you drew if you can, and then make sure it fits okay with this. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so now we're going to take our connector piece wrong side up and we're going to stick it into that 1-inch hole, and you want it to be quite snug. That's why I didn't cut all the way to the 1-inch line. You can see how it almost looks like it's pinching in. That is what we want. And you're going to pull that through the back all the way down to that line that we just drew. Okay, so you're going to can't talk. Line that line up with where this starts, and on the connector side right here, we're just going to go kind of in between our top stitching lines, and we're just going to go and stitch right there, not over the opening, just on the connector and through the main panel behind it. Okay, I'm actually going to switch out to my zipper foot for this because it is a lot easier with the zipper foot. So let's go over there. I'll switch out to my zipper foot really, really fast. Which one do I want to use? I'm actually going to use my left-handed zipper foot, my left-handed, it's not really handed, my left side zipper foot for this, because then I can get nice and close to what I need it to be. So I'm just going to switch that out. What'd you make me for dinner, Melissa? We're actually having hamburgers. Dave's going to barbecue, but I don't know about it with this storm. Okay. I always say it's always worth taking the time to change into zipper foots when needed, because it just makes everything so much more perfect, trust me. Okay. So I'm going to turn this around here, and I'm going to line this side of my zipper foot up, right up against where the slit is, but we're not sewing the slit. We're just sewing the connector in between the connector top stitching lines. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's important we don't go past the connector, otherwise you will see that on the exterior, and we don't want that. Whoops. And back stitch really good. What's going on here? Oh, it's getting caught on my bottom. My spool is getting caught on itself. Okay, take the back over here. So this is what we got. So you can see I didn't sew through this. I just sewed through the connector. Okay. Trim up those threads. And I just sewed in between my top stitch lines. I didn't want to go much further. So you can see on this side, gives you a little bit better of an idea, like that. So remember, this is wrong side up. Now we are going to take our rectangular ring, and we are going to stick it on like this. I'm going to fold it over, and we are going to put it through that slit. And if it's nice and tight, this is what I love about this, is when you pull it, you're going to see the vinyl raw edge roll in. See, it's not even exposed, that raw edge. If it has an exposed raw edge, that is fine. But if you pull it, if it's tight enough, you won't have that. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to top stitch right along, not the connector part, but actually along where that rolled edge is right there. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm actually going to pull, yeah, I'm going to pull my threads long. As now I'm going to back stitch just in case. I know I normally wouldn't want to back stitch, but for these ones I usually do back stitch just because they need to be really stable, especially because they'll be used. So putting it at a top stitching length. And this is where this foot is really nice because I can get it right where I need it to be on that edge there. So I'm starting about where the connector begins, and then doing a back stitch and going all the way to where that connector ends and back stitching. Where are my scissors? I'm so happy with how this is looking out. And my end stayed, my raw edge stayed folded under, which is awesome. If it doesn't stay rolled under, that is okay too. So, see how that looks? And then I will also go ahead and, where's my pen? I will be putting a rivet right there for extra security, backed with some scraps of Decaville Heavy on this side. And you can also go ahead and just trim these up so they're the same size, but I like having them extra long. That gives you the option that if you wanted to put 2 rivets on, there's more than enough here for it to grab for that extra security. But see how that edge stayed rolled under and I have no raw edge exposed? It just is perfect. So yes, so that's what you're going to do with the other 3 and on the front as well. On the front of your bag for homework, you can also go ahead and install your nameplate wherever you want it to be. I did mine, how much did I do mine by? I did mine about 2 1/4 inches up from the bottom center, if that helps at all. But yeah, so go ahead and you're going to install connectors, whatever connectors you are using. You want to make sure these are given enough that we have a 1/2 inch seam allowance around here, which we do, because that's about where we'll have a 1/4 inch seam here. So I'm just rolling it under 1/4 inch, so I've got more than enough room. So install your other 3 hidden connectors. And that's it for the exterior homework. And then if you can prep 1 lining panel, putting in your zipper overlay, but leaving the bottom of your zipper pocket open. That'll help us out so much for class. It's the exact same process as this one, so if we have that done as well, that would be great. So that means all that homework is installing your other 3 connectors, putting your foam on your other exterior piece, of course. So you're going to do all of this except for this on the other front panel. Your 3 connectors, and then your 1 lining panel. Install your overlay if you are doing it. Again, I put the zipper pocket inside again so we can close up the bottom nice and easy. So yeah, and again, if you want to see how I close it up, you can always watch the tutorial that I have posted already for you guys. Are there any questions? Look at that, 6 o'clock exactly. Any questions at all about any of that and the homework? It's not too much homework. I will next Thursday go live about 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do homework. So if you have any more questions, you can definitely join me there or watch that one. Yeah, so I will do homework next Thursday for sure. I'll do a homework class before main class. Any questions? Was that a good class? I know we kind of got distracted with storms and dogs and everything, but we still got through it. I think it was still super good. Did you guys have a good time? What do the new people think? I'd love to hear your thoughts and any constructive criticisms you may have, or if this was good. It's kind of very relaxed and fun. It's really just friends kind of sewing together, which is great. Good night, Lenore. Thank you. Now you want a burger, Karen? Okay, come on over. Have a great night, Kim. I just don't believe how fast the 2 hours go. So yeah, next week is already the 3rd class. Most of you, I think I will see on Tuesday for the 2nd apothecary class. Nicole says, always a great time. Cynthia, great sewing class. Thank you. Thank you. You love it, Elba? Excellent. I love getting new people. Thank you, Diane. Don't work too hard. Yay. Anyways, if you guys need help at all, you know what to do. All my information is below. You can email me or catch me on Facebook if you need a hand with anything. Kathy's 9 p.m. there. Okay, have a good night. Great class as usual. Thank you, Lexi. Oh, thank you, Lisa, and thank you again for donating to the coffee account. It'll go towards the new table. Thank you, Kim, for helping it be a great time. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to figure out where my husband is because he's not home yet. Make sure he's not caught in traffic or behind accidents or everything with that storm. I will shoot this over so you guys can see it on YouTube. I'll put it into the membership playlist, and I will see you guys next